Back to the stables, Carl. Here. Greetings, Your Majesty. Probably brought a bucket. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. should do it. If Hawaii needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that. There you are!
So let me get this straight. And instead of coming straight, you get Clive to come to you. And I will dig you out of the hole you've dug for you. The man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you sort this. It was a cunning plan. Why? Well,
Oh, just Martha. And the Dane.
we owe 3 of our most trusted friends $5 million gil.
Each. 5 million. They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and...
Do we have that much to hand?
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rosfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides,
All right. Is there anything I can do?
there might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Mark?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000. Little something Sid and I set aside, and I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies.
I'm sure there will.
But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, asses to what?
I know.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2?
Because... you'd rather Lady Karen...
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you.
Well... I suppose this is goodbye, then.
Don't worry.
Really?
No. I don't.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come to claim your just desserts? You earned this. All yours. Here you are. Come again. I may have more for you.
Clive! I'm sorry to drag you in. It's just I couldn't think who else to... Here you go. Always something in there.
All this fuss over a few dark clouds.
All right, there's. How's that hunt?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. You're a gent, right then. There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that, huh?
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest leather supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. But I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo. Well?
It certainly feels...
Right? Told you.
Thank you.
No. Thank you. You. For supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavor. And I'm telling you.
Let's go. Run like the wind. This won't be easy. Time to fight. Time for the pack, is it? Let me introduce you to mine. And then there was one. That wasn't too bad, was it, Torgal? Not here. Fly, Ambrosia. Thanks, girl. Ah! No more vengeance. No more war.
This man's gonna die if we don't get him to a healer.
Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us, do you?
Ambrosia won't help me here.
Faster!
We deal with the Akashic first.
Farewell! Titan! Alright! Farewell!
finished.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
If you've come to rob this place,
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
how do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wait. Men. But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter. They were making ready to leave just as the
Martha! The scouting party's almost at the lift, and they got wounded!
Damn it up.
We'll worry about that.
You look after everyone here.
I will.
My brothers.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade!
Lord Rosfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them, but we didn't know there would be so many.
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You... Never been one to shy away from date.
I see you're all...
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way.
A second.
Feel like finish.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool. You'll need to move the...
Don't you worry.
The moment my men are safe.
Just patch me up as...
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Something's coming.
Apologies, my lord. Did I miss anything?
Only the first round, so wait. Shall we? Do you see any more?
No. I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next.
Then we make for Marth.
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade.
Well, wherever they came from, hopefully we'll have enough.
How many of your men?
A damn sight less than if you had.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well...
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to... Oscar? Oh... It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar.
Murdoch.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, so wait. If it please you, my Lord Mark, I would learn the duties of a shield.
But I am a shield no longer. And spending time in the company of an outlaw.
My Aunt Hannah once told me, you have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little, and I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw. Than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire.
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your...
I would not have it... I will not let you down, Lord Rossfield. We shall be staying here for the time being, and not just for the ale. I'll have one of my men escort Oscar to Benamir once he's said his farewells.
Fate seemed bent on driving me from my inn.
First we find Isabel.
Welcome. I do like a customer who knows what he wants. You've a keen eye. I do like a customer who knows what he wants.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts on the far side of the...
I saw it with my own eyes. The whole of Oregon.
I can't do it.
My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
We could leave.
The two soldiers were carrying...
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your sisters, your brothers. So you have a choice. Lay down.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here. It's all we have.
What we have left is our lives!
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the... I'll have a word with them.
Ah, Clive.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need...
I'd like you to consider my need.
What we need to consider is where the creatures came from.
The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then...
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just...
It's all right.
That thing, it took off the captain's head.
But my family...
You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went back to them glowing things found me and...
Leave that to us.
At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
It was all they could do to escape.
Faster!
Clive, look!
I see them. With me! Enough!
Should I prime?
Save your strength. Farewell. Let's try. I heard Torgal. Now, Torgal! I needed that. Too slow. Do you think there are more?
There are always more.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right?
Yes, my lady.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men.
Hearing that the Dame would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes. Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier and the people I love. Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that, but it has solved one.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Was wondering, had owls from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest?
Let's see. The nations are still in chaos.
Right.
Clive, we knew now's the time to visit the infirmary.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier, who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. Is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him, before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua. Clive, it's Gav. There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
All Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive.
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
My attendant was with me in the Dominion before I primed. She would have watched the battle unfold and witnessed its outcome. I trust you'll be waiting for me in Tabor, where I can finally introduce you.
Seems the highways.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be thunder?
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone missing this time?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scale. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about what my first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to... which almost certainly me...
Perhaps a visit.
I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Oh, that blasted book.
Are you sure it's me you're looking?
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you very much. You remember Ivan's stew? So I thought I'd try making one of these.
It wasn't as straightforward.
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I want.
I've never been one to play favourites, Motley. So,
A fried mortar recipe seemed easy enough. Only, turns out Skyworm.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow, that's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella.
Fine. And if he does...
You do that.
What's that for you, dear? And?
see the pair that got hauled into time?
Seems the hideaway is lost.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't...
Valicia, a culinary pilgrim. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we...
That's actually why I'm here.
So the fabled Sanbriquois delicacy is next on the menu. Delight. Now, Skyworm is a somewhat...
Dragon livers.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their... I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands.
So we know where to look for our liver.
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of Skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other. To Northreach, then.
Best of luck, Clive, and do say... Clark, you'll be pleased to hear that and while my collection is still far from becoming the 1,000, of course, I would not have penned half as many volumes without the tales you, for which generosity. I have a few new notes that might interest you. I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. I have quite the find for you today. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it. You are always welcome, Clive.
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best
best way I see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take risks. So let's have a look at these. All right. Every piece has its own role. If even one of them is missing, you already know one of the pieces. This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is?
You're right.
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid?
I'll think about it.
Hold things. So wait.
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh goods? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Middledale's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her...
That's right. They're very useful.
I remember the arm moved.
It's not my fault.
We know what part's supposed to move, so...
Not a bad idea. So...
I think we've got...
Then here's what we'll do.
Well, obviously you need...
And the arms go on the body, just like... And then the arms hold the pan...
Very good.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three...
That's right. We're Miss Middledale's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah. Hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mid...
You hear that?
Until then, though...
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid? Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be fun?
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had they dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the Hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted.
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. To anyone else it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I.
Oh, you've given them far more than that. And I'm
Clive, we weren't expecting.
I wasn't expecting, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your... And though I doubt it's what you...
A star, Ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buy.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debt. Isn't it? The old goat...
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a... recently retired Lord Commander. Word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end.
His death was hard on everyone.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement. I reckon what he saw in Sid, and don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
There were ghosts at the gates, not days. Those things I said before.
Milady.
Gift? Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked to settle the and...
I thought you might tell Otto he can keep his baubles. The man owes me nothing. My contribution to the restoration effort.
You once told me... I'd like to do the same, and for Otto's.
Otto is lucky. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago. Yes. And blamed himself. I don't know how it happened. Whether there was...
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends.
Gob will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
Mindless though they are, an Akashic horde large enough to besiege the front.
Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
Good. So Lady Karen...
Ah, but she was just too... She threw it right back in my face, in fact. And told...
Karen refused...
I hope it wasn't...
I'm sure you were as tactful.
Ah,
wasn't expecting you back so... Here you are. Best of luck out there, Sid.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you want... Would you prefer the debt?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you'll get... Where'd you even get this? A canny one, meanwhile. Might be I already have, but might be you even know. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just...
Thanks to this lump, I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. It was the only goblet Sid ever used.
I knew so little about...
most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem... How long did you know?
Before he died, back in the day, he bought passage to... We set up drinking Island rum till the morning bell. Drag quit my post not long after that. On account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close. Promising we... The season. That was... The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day. And there was no hiding his neck.
Couldn't you and your family?
My family were the ones who summoned the... wanted the monster. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand. Luckily, it was him who stood beside me when... Him who cried for me. Him. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. Threw away everything he had. I knew then I'd follow... He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me. Just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know. This place would be fucked without you. I love you, you grumpy old son.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have. Let's go. Faster! straight home now. Fly, Ambrosia. We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it. The Echoes have a will of their own.
Thanks, Cal.
To me, please! It's over.
Let's go.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
Be safe. You deserve a rest. You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood. Up ahead. It swallowed. There's a village.
I'll go. Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful. We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Back to the stables, girl. Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them? Yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege. liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king! He has come to save us from the Akashic! He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very... salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yote.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go. Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yote is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order, if there is nothing.
No.
Your Grace.
It's a canva then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities under sea?
Come on.
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them. Clive.
Smoke. Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry. Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in the city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the merchants' district to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the merchants' district, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors.